Let's just jump right into this. You know that feeling when you look at your bank account and there's just this massive disconnect? You're a really smart person, right? You crush it at work, you make logical choices in your day-to-day life, but when it comes to building wealth, you just feel stuck, spinning your wheels. You've probably thought to yourself, if I'm so smart, why am I still broke? Well, welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're unpacking the absolutely fascinating and, frankly, kind of terrifying reality behind that exact feeling. We're breaking down the psychology of money to show you why pure intellect, it's just not enough to build wealth.
I mean, think about it. Have you ever walked out of a store, glanced at the receipt, and thought, wait, why on earth did I just spend that much? Or, oh, here's an even more agonizing one. Holding on to a losing investment, watching those red numbers just plummet because you absolutely knew it was going to bounce back, except, it never did. Those moments are painful. They literally make us question our own common sense. But here's the really important thing you need to know. You are definitely not alone. And honestly, it's not a failure of your intelligence. It's just your brain.
So let's get into section 1, the brain versus the wallet.
We live out these bizarre contradictions every single day. It's like a tug of war between our rational intentions, the things we know we should do, and our irrational actions, the things we actually end up doing. For example, we all know the golden rule, right? Buy low, sell high. But in reality, we often buy in right at the peak of the hype, and then panic sell at the absolute bottom. Or debt. We know we should totally avoid it, but we rack up the credit cards anyway, despite knowing better. We desperately want this nice, secure retirement, but somehow, buying that brand new shiny gadget today just feels incredibly urgent. So how does our worst habit ambush our best intentions so easily? Well, the answer lies in this really fascinating field called behavioral finance. Basically, it's the study of exactly how psychology influences our money decisions. It takes the hard, cold numbers of economics and smashes them together with the messy reality of human behavior. It explains exactly why we don't always act in our own best interest, even when we absolutely know better. It's literally the science of why we act against our own financial survival. And if there is one core truth you take away from this entire explainer, let it be this. We are not rational robots. We're emotional human beings. And because of that, money is always going to be emotional. You just can't untangle the numbers from the feelings. The second we accept that we aren't just these unfeeling calculators, we can actually start to understand the mechanics behind our own self-sabotage.
Which brings us to section 2, 4 dangerous psychological traps.
Let's rapidly fire through these 4 specific saboteurs. Number 1 is loss aversion. We literally hate losing money way more than we enjoy gaining it. It's wild. That's exactly why we hold on to toxic, bad investments. We're so terrified to cut our losses that we just pray they'll rebound. Number 2, present bias. We prioritize now over later. Saving up for a safe retirement, super boring. But spending on a gadget or a vacation right this second, highly urgent. Then, number 3 is confirmation bias. This is when we put on blinders and only look for information that supports what we already believe, leading to some pretty terrible tunnel vision. And finally, number 4, overconfidence. Thinking we know way more than we actually do. And let me tell you, when it comes to predicting the market or managing debt, overconfidence is a profoundly dangerous mindset. Moving on to section 3, panic versus disciplined systems. Let's look at this in action. Take Alex, for example. The market dips and boom, the fear kicks in instantly. Alex panics, totally gives in to loss aversion, and sells everything at a massive loss. Then he waits on the sidelines until the market feels safe again and buys back in, right at the very top. It's a cycle driven entirely by chaotic emotion. But then, on the flip side, we have Jordan. Jordan understands behavioral finance. So when the market dips, she stays cold, calm, and calculated. She just follows her pre-established plan, totally removes the emotion from the equation, and eventually watches her investments recover and grow. It all boils down to this. Same market, 2 mindsets. One loses, the other wins. I mean, let that really sink in for a sec. It's kind of shocking, right? It's not about who has the highest IQ or who has the fanciest finance degree. It is entirely about behavior. Behavior dictates wealth. Jordan didn't win because of some secret market knowledge. She won because of how she acted under pressure.
All right, section 4, how to outsmart your brain.
If you want to regain control, you need a 3-part framework. Step 1, know your triggers. You've got to recognize your own patterns. Do you emotionally spend when you're stressed out at work? Pinpoint that. Step 2, remove emotion via automation. You need to put your good decisions on autopilot. Set up auto-investing and auto-saving so your money is already moving to the right places before your emotional brain even has a chance to intervene. And step 3, talk to someone. An advisor, your spouse, a good friend. Actually saying your goals out loud creates this external accountability that keeps you on track when your internal discipline starts to slip.
And that brings us to the core thesis of this whole explainer. Build a system that works even when your emotions don't. Listen, your goal here isn't to become some perfect emotionless robot. That's impossible. Your goal is to realize that financial mastery has way less to do with fancy spreadsheets and everything to do with mastering your mindset. Once you figure out how your brain actually works around money, you can stop making those exhausting emotional mistakes and finally start building the wealth you actually deserve.
So I want to leave you with one really provocative question to think about. What is one money decision you regret because of emotion? Was it an impulse buy? A panic sell when the market dropped? Honestly, confront your own internal saboteur today. Acknowledge that regret, drag it out into the open, and use it as your very first step toward building a disciplined, automated system. Outsmart your brain and take back control of your wealth. Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and I'll see you